तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and today we have to start the conversations of Saturday, December 29, 1883. One thing we note here, that yesterday we read December 27. So December 28 is missing, though Master Masha is at Dakshineshwar, but for some reason whatsoever, no conversations of December 28 have been recorded. So we come to Saturday, December 29, 1883. It was the day of the new moon, what we call Amavasya, auspicious for the worship of the Divine Mother, Kali. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna got into a carriage to visit the temple of Kali at Kali Ghat. So for those who do not know Indian things, let me explain a little. First thing is that branch of the Ganga, which we call Hooghly, has changed its course over a number of years. So sometime it was flowing in that area, and that is why today a small canal lake is there, and it is called Adi Ganga, the original Ganga. And there on the bank, Ghat means steps leading to the Ganges. Kali Ghat means near the Kali temple, steps leading to the Ganges. So there Kali temple is situated. Now another thing is that it is thought to be one of the 51 Shakti Pithas. The legend goes that the Divine Mother took birth as Sati, the daughter of Daksha Prajapati, who was in charge of running the society of ancient India. And because Shiva does not normally obey the social rules, he is beyond everything. He need not follow the social rules, so he does not follow. So this Daksha takes Shiva to be his opponent or enemy. There may be some other stories also, but that is the main thing. Now, Daksha had several daughters, and they were married to rishis and like that, to moon. But the youngest daughter, named Sati, which was more pet of the father Daksha, from childhood, she worshipped Shiva. And Shiva tested her in various ways, and finally she married Shiva. To Daksha's dislike, but he was obliged to do that. Then he was doing a big sacrifice in his house. And he invited all the gods. Normally, Shiva is one of the partakers of the food offered in Yajna. But he did not invite Shiva at all because of that enmity. Now, Sati heard about this from Narada or from other daughters of Daksha, and she felt that he might have forgotten, but she must visit her parents at that time. And Shiva told her repeatedly, don't go. But out of that attachment to parents, she went there. And there, Shiva, Daksha insulted Shiva again and again. Sati could not bear it. And she created fire from her own body because she was the mother of the universe. And she jumped into that fire and said, I do not want this body which is born from Daksha as the father. Now Shiva came to know, and Shiva produced another big giant, Virabhadra, and he destroyed that Daksha's yajna and cut off Daksha's head to fall in that fire. Shiva went there when he heard that Sati had been killed, and there all the gods requested Shiva that the yajna once started should be completed. So you please put some head on the neck of Daksha so that he can complete the yajna. So Shiva cut the head of a goat and placed it on Daksha's head, and with that head, Daksha completed the sacrifice. On the other hand, Shiva was so much struck with grief over the unnatural death of his wife, Sati, who was actually the mother of the universe, that he carried that burnt body over his shoulders. And he was not coming out of that grief. And he was roaming throughout the world with that body on his shoulder in a state of a sort of intoxication. Then the gods thought that is not proper, and so Vishnu went with Sudarshan Chakra and cut part by part that Devi's body. And when the complete body was removed from Shiva's shoulder, he regained his normal health. Now, wherever that part has fallen, it becomes a big Shakti Pita, the special place where Shakti can be worshipped. And so, the toes of the right foot of Sati fell there near that Ganges. And so, a temple was erected, and that is the Kali of the Kali Ghat. Now, Dakshineshwar Kali temple comparatively is very recent. It was constructed for Sri Ramakrishna's Leela Sadhana, but the original Kali temple in Calcutta was very much venerated. And so Sri Ramakrishna was going there. That is the place where Ram Prasad and Kamalakant had their experiences. Though in appearance, it is a sort of cadaverous, only a stone without any proper shape, pasted with vermilion, and two eyes are shown by something, and that is the external appearance of Kali. But Ram Prasad, Kamalakant, and other sadhakas had darshan, visualization of beautiful divine beauty in that personage. So that beauty is bhavachakshu. That is not from these eyes. So that is the Kali Ghat and venerated by everybody, including Sri Ramakrishna. So that is the information in short about why. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna got into a carriage to visit the temple of Kali at Kali Ghat. Amavasya, the new moon day, is specially sacred for the worship of Kali. He intended to stop at Adhar's house on the way, since Adhar was to accompany him to the temple. While the carriage was waiting near the north porch of the master's room, M went to the master and said, "Sir, may I also go with you?" Because he had come to stay in Dakshineshwar. Master, why? Why come out of Dakshineshwar? M, I should like to visit my home in Calcutta. That is on the way or near there. Sri Ramakrishna reflected a moment and said, "Must you go home? Why? You are quite all right here." He has come to stay there for 15 days or so. So in between, why you are remembering your home? M wanted to see his people a few hours, but evidently the master did not approve. Because he has come to stay there, let him stay continuously. If he goes house, his mind will go back to the worldly ways, disturb his continuity of sadhana. So Sri Ramakrishna did not want him to go. That much information Master Masha has given as the conversation or whatever of December 29. He has not given, so he has not gone with Thakur. He stayed in Dakshineshwar. Thakur went to Adhar's house and with Adhar he went to Kali temple and came back. So Master Masha has not recorded any conversation thereof. So we go to next day, Sunday, December 30, 1883. Sunday. So some household devotees come who have vacation. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, while M was walking up and down under a tree, a devotee came to him and said that the master had sent for him. We know that. Master, Thakur wanted master to be present whenever any important conversations were to happen. And when he was in Dakshineshwar itself, he sent for him. M went to Sri Ramakrishna's room and found a number of devotees there. He saluted the master. Ram, Kedar and others had arrived from Calcutta. Who have met all these people? Kedar was believed in faith and had tremendous devotion. Ram had brought with him the Vedantist monk whom the master had visited near his garden a few days earlier. Where at that? When he had visited Ram's garden, coming out of there, he saw a monk and he conversed with that monk in Hindi and invited him to Dakshineshwar and told Ram to bring him when he comes next. So Ram had brought him. Ram had brought with him the Vedantist monk whom the master had visited near his garden a few days earlier. On that occasion, Sri Ramakrishna had asked him to bring the sadhu to Dakshineshwar. The monk was sitting on the small coach with the master. So because he was a sannyasi, of course, Thakur does not find any difference. He sits among the devotees also. But because he was sitting on the coach, he called the sadhu to sit with him. They were talking happily in Hindustani. Now, what is this Hindustani? Hindi. If it is pure from Sanskrit, it should be called Hindi. But when during the Muslim rule, Urdu got mixed with Hindi, and that Hindi became the street Hindi, and that was called Hindustani. So Thakur knew that, and Thakur is talking with him in Hindustani. Hmm? Oh, not this. Hmm. Hmm. देखो देखो देखो, unnecessary this translation has spoiled. In the original Bengali, Hindi is written. Hindi is not same as Hindustani, please. Hindustani is a mixed language with Urdu. And Hindi means Hindi. And I checked with original Bengali, they conversed in Hindi. And that is what Thakur knew. Because Thakur was always in contact with Vedanti sannyasis, who hailed most of them from Kashi or Haridwar, so from the Hindi belt. Good that I saw that. In happily in Hindi. Master, what do you feel about all this? All this. What do you feel about all this? Mom, it is all like a dream. Means we see it, but it is not real. So like a dream. Master, Brahman alone is real and the world illusory. Well, sir, what is Brahman? So people talk like that without paying attention to the meaning of the word Brahman. And so Thakur used this sentence very often used by the Vedanti sadhus and asked him pinpointedly, what is Brahman? So you understand this point? I have seen Vedantis talking Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya without paying the least attention to the meaning of the word Brahman. And so when the Thakur himself uttered that sentence and asked him what is Brahman? Mom, Brahman is the sound, it is Om. So there is a school of thought within Vedanta who think that Brahman cannot be described, but it can be told like a sound, and it is represented by Om. Oh, what can I do? In the Bengali, Om is not mentioned. Anahata Shabda. Anahata Shabda. It is not Om. Om has a particular form. Anahata has no form. What is Anahata Shabda? We make sound by hitting something with something. Even the vocal cord is hit, then it sound comes. We hit some instrument, then the sound comes. But the original sound, primordial sound, which the yogis can listen, which the Brahman is supposed to be represented by, is not something articulate sound. Inarticulate sound, you may say. So it is a sound which is the basis of all the sounds. It itself has no particular form. And that is Brahman, Nada Brahma. So that is called the sound Brahman. So that is what the sadhu said. Now, Thakur thinks that if sound is the name of Brahman, but then there should be something represented by the name. So this knowledge seemed to be incomplete to Sri Ramakrishna. So he said, Master, but there must be something indicated by the sound. Isn't that so? Monk, that itself is the thing indicated as well as the indicator. So that is how they think, that the sound represents Brahman, and what that sound indicates, Brahman. So how can I tell more about it? At these words, Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. So, Vachya and Vachak Brahman. So, the sound and indicated by the sound, if they are resolved into one without a second, that sends Thakur into Samadhi. And sat motionless. The monk and the devotees looked wonderingly at him in his ecstatic condition. Kedar said to the monk, "Look at him, sir. This is Samadhi." Because he thought the sadhu must not have seen that. They discussed, but he might not have seen that. The monk had read of Samadhi, but had never seen it before. After a few minutes, the master began gradually to come down to the normal plane of consciousness. He said to the Divine Mother, so coming down, not yet come down, huh? Mother, I want to be normal. Please don't make me unconscious. I should like to talk to the sadhu about Satchidananda. Mother, I want to be merry talking about Satchidananda. So Thakur wanted to experience all the states about Satchidananda, including talking about Satchidananda. The monk was amazed to see the master's condition and to hear these words. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, please do away with your I am he. So if you are that, then there is no conversation. But if you drop that idea, then you can think of, feel, talk about Brahman. And in that way, you can have the bliss of the talk of Brahman. Let us now keep I and thou to enjoy the fun. So, deliberately keeping means after knowledge, not in ignorance. A little later, the master was walking in the Panchavati, so that much was with the sadhu, with Ram, Kedar, M, and the other devotees. Master to Kedar with a smile. What do you think of the sadhu? Kedar, it is all dry knowledge. The pot has just been put on the fire, but as yet there is no rice in it. Content, experience, master, that may be true, but he has renounced everything. So Thakur wants to see the positive side. He might not have come up to the experience, but he has renounced everything. He who has renounced the world has already made great progress. Why and how he can renounce? Because he has felt the reality. He has felt that the reality is beyond this world. The sadhu belongs to the stage of the beginner. Nothing can be achieved without the realization of God. When a man is intoxicated with extreme ecstatic love of God, he doesn't take delight in anything else. Then, cherish my precious mother Shama. So for Thakur, there is no difference between the power of Brahman and Brahman. So, cherish my precious mother Shama tenderly within our mind. May you and I alone behold her, letting no one else intrude. That means in solitude, one can feel the power of Brahman within himself. Kedar repeated the words of a song in keeping with the master's feeling. So Kedar caught it. And another song, how shall I open my heart to a friend? It is forbidden me to speak. I am about to die for lack of a kindred soul to understand my misery. So this appears to be Gopi's songs. Hmm. Now, Thakur has sung the full song and an additional song. Where is Kedar here? Okay. Thakur has sung that much. ঠাকুরের ভাবে কেদার একটি গান বলিতেছেন মনের কথা কইব কি সই কইতে মানা দরদি নইলে প্রাণ বাঁচে না. So this is about the Vaishnava song, but it is corresponding to Thakur's idea that one can talk about Brahman with a person who can understand that, who has felt a little. Shiram to about to die for lack of a kindred soul to understand my misery. Actually, misery, you may say my feeling. Not necessarily misery, feeling, my feeling. Sri Ramakrishna returned to his room. About 4 o'clock, the door of the Kali temple was opened and the master walked to the temple with the monk. So Sadhu is still there. M accompanied them. Entering the inner chamber, the master prostrated himself reverently before the image. The monk with folded hands also bowed his head repeatedly before Kali. Master, what do you think of Kali? Monk with devotion. Kali is supreme. So he knows a lot. Master, Kali and Brahman are identical. Is that not so? Monk, as long as one's mind is turned to the outer world, one must accept Kali. As long as a man sees the outer world and discriminates between good and evil, he must accept good and reject evil. To be sure, all names and forms are illusory. But as long as the mind sees the outer world, the aspirant must give up woman. The ideas of good and evil are applied to one who is still a student on the path. Otherwise, he will stray from the path of righteousness. So, that sadhu knows quite a bit. Thus conversing, the master and the monk returned from the temple. Master to him, did you notice that the sadhu bowed before Kali? Because the Vedantis, some of them do not accept any form, do not accept Kali, but this sadhu did it because he has some good ideas, notions about Brahman and its power. Yes, sir. So that much of the Sunday, and we pass on to next day, Monday, December 31, 1883. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the master was sitting in his room with M. Rakhal, Latu, Harish, and other devotees. We know all of them. Addressing M and Balaram, so other devotees includes Balaram. Huh? Addressing M and Balaram, the master said, Haladhari followed the path of knowledge, but not really, not fully. Haladhari is Thakur's elder cousin brother, and he thought about following the path of Nirgun Brahma. Day and night he used to study the Upanishads, the Adhyatma Ramayana, and similar books on Vedanta. Upanishads, Vedas part, Adhyatma Ramayana we already discussed, part of a Puran. He would turn up his nose at the mention of the forms of God. Turn up his nose means sneer. Once I ate from the leaf plates of the beggars to feel the sameness with all, no higher and lower, no ego. So he took food, uchishtam, remaining food from the plates of the beggars. At this, Saldari said to me, how will you be able to marry your children? That means your caste. People will outcast you. They will not marry your children. I said, you rascal, shall I ever have children? May your mouth that repeats words from the Gita and the Vedanta be blighted. Just fancy, he declared that the world was illusory and again would meditate in the temple of Vishnu with turned up nose. That is, no, Vishnu is all-pervading God and he did not like the Kali worship. So he asked Mathur and got himself shifted to the Radhakanda temple. And there with pride he used to meditate. So Thakur is describing that. World was illusory. Then why the all-pervading Vishnu? In the evening, Balram and the other devotees returned to Calcutta. The master remained in his room, absorbed in contemplation of the Divine Mother. After a while, the sweet music of the evening worship in the temples was heard. That day I was saying that what is the music of the morning worship? But I understood later on, in Belur Math, we do not have that. We have only the bell and the drum, gong. But in other temples, in Belur Math also on festive occasions, lot of instruments are struck here and there in tune, in rhythm with the Mangalarti going on. So all of them produce good music and that used to get mixed up with the music of the bagpipe. So here again, in the evening arati, no arati song is sung, but all the instruments are played together. After a while, the sweet music of the evening worship in the temple was heard. A little later, the master began to talk to the mother, and this music has always enchanted Master Masha right from the day one. A little later, the master began to talk to the mother in a tender voice that touched the heart of him, who was seated on the floor. After repeating Hari Om, Om, the master said, Mother, don't make me unconscious with the knowledge of Brahman. Mother, I don't want Brahma Jnana. I want to be merry. I want to play. That means not the Nirvikalpa Nirgun Brahma, but Brahman in sport. Again he said, Mother, I don't know the Vedanta. I don't know. I know is wrong. And mother, I don't even care to know. That is, I knowing is not correct. The Vedas and the Vedanta remain so far below when thou were realized. So the actual experience is far above, and that also when the power of Brahman is realized. O Divine Mother, then he said, O Krishna. So in his mind there is no slightest conflict. O Krishna, I shall say to thee, eat my child, take this my child. O Krishna, I shall say to thee, my child, thou hast assumed this body for my sake. So that very Brahman assumes body as avatar so that people may love him. That is what Thakur is telling. So we go to next day, Wednesday. Oh, here again, 1st of January is missing. And we go to next day, Wednesday, January 2, 1884. So I shifted the year, English year. Rakhal, Latu, Harish, Ramlal and M had been staying with the Sri Ramakrishna at the temple garden. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, M found the master on the west porch of his room, engaged in conversation with a tantric devotee. Sri Ramakrishna's mind was so much universal that he could talk with anybody following any path of realizing Brahman. Mahima Chakravarti had sent the letter to the master. Okay. Mahima Chakravarti was a man who showed a lot of things anyway. Master to the Tantric. It is a part of the Tantric discipline to drink wine from a human skull. This wine is called Karana. Isn't that so? He's checking certain things. Tantric, yes, sir. Master, but I cannot touch wine at all. Tantric, you have spontaneous divine bliss. One who enjoys that bliss wants nothing else. So he understands. Master, I don't care for japa and austerity, but I have constant remembrance and consciousness of God. So the inner content of japa and austerity is constant remembrance and consciousness of God. Tell me, when they speak of the 6 centers, what do they mean? So he's asking the Tantric sadhak. Tantric, these are like different holy places. In each of the centers dwell Shiva and Shakti. One cannot see them with the physical eyes. One cannot take them out by cutting open the body. So that is physical. M listened silently to the conversation. Looking at him, the master asked the tantric devotee, can a man attain perfection without the help of a bija mantra, a sacred word from the Guru? Bija, it should be B. But Bengalis like to put V. And V sometimes Bengalis mean Bha. But it is Bija. Best would be B. B-I-J-A. Bija mantra. Means there is a root of a worm attached to the name, and that root has potential power. So tantrics use that. Tantric, yes, he can if he has faith. Can a man attain perfection without the help of a Bij mantra, a sacred word from the Guru? Tantric, yes, he can if he has faith. Faith in the words of the Guru. So he may not take the Bij mantra of the Guru from Guru, but whatever the Guru has told him, and if he has faith in him, then he can. That is according to the Gita 13th chapter. The master turned to him and said, drawing his attention, faith. So the things which are valid, Thakur repeats. After the tantric devotee had taken his leave, Jai Gopal said, a member of the Brahma Samaj arrived. The master talked with him. Master to Jai Gopal, one should not harbor malice towards any person or any opinion. That limits Brahman. The believers in the formless God and the worshippers of God with form are all, without exception, going towards God alone. The Jnani, the Yogi, the Bhakta, all without exception are seeking Him alone. The follower of the path of knowledge calls Him Brahman. The Yogi calls Him Atman or Paramatman. Paramatman means the Supreme Atman. The Bhakta calls Him Bhagavan, possessed of the 6 divine qualities. Further, it is said that there is the eternal Lord and His eternal servant. That is one of the Vaishnava Bhavas. Nitya Thakur, Nitya Das. So a constant relationship without fully getting merged. That also is a path. Jai Gopal. How can we know that all paths are true? Master, a man can reach God if he follows one path rightly. So it is a path. Then he can learn about all the other paths. So if you go to the goal, from there you can see all the paths. Paths are different, convergent. So on this path, you cannot see this path. But if you reach the goal, you can see all paths. It is like reaching the roof by some means or other. So paths is one way, roof is another way. Then one is able to climb down by the wooden or stone stairs, by a bamboo pole, or even by a rope while coming back. Go up by the means available to you, and you will see there are so many means, and you can come down by any one of them. By a bamboo pole or even by a rope, a devotee can know everything about when God's grace descends on him. If you were to realize him, you will be able to know all about him. You should somehow meet the master of a house and become acquainted with him. Then he himself will tell you how many horses he owns and all about his garden and government securities. Government securities was a popular investment in those days, like the fixed deposits. Jai Gopal. How does one receive the grace of God? Master. Constantly you have to chant the name and glories of God and give up worldly thoughts as much as you can. With the greatest effort, you may try to bring water into your field for your crops, but it may all leak out through the holes in the ridges. Then all your effort to bring the water by digging a canal will be futile. That means give up worldly thoughts as much as you can. You will feel restless for God when your heart becomes pure and your mind free from attachment to the things of the world. Then alone will your prayer reach God. A telegraph wire cannot carry message if it has a break or some other defect. So nowadays this telegraph has gone away. But in Thakur's time, and Thakur understood the principle that the wire has to run continuously. If there is a break, message will not be carried. An example he could give. I used to cry for God all alone with a longing heart. I used to weep, "Oh God, where art thou?" Weeping thus, I would lose all consciousness of the world. My mind would merge in the Mahavayu. Mahavayu, element pure Vayu. How can one attain yoga? By completely renouncing attachment to worldly things. So he brings it again there. The mind must be pure and without blemish, like the telegraph wire that has no defect. Then the grace comes. One must not cherish any desire whatever. So he is again and again hitting at desire. The devotion of a man who has any desire is selfish. But desireless devotion is love for its own sake. You may love me or not, but I love you. This is love for its own sake. So without even getting response, one goes on loving. The thing is that one must love God. So again and again he comes to the same point. Through intense love, one attains the vision of him. The attraction of the husband for the chaste wife. First time we are meeting this, huh? Otherwise we see chaste wife to husband. Oh, it is wrong. Bengali says Satir Patirupartan. So translation has missed the point. I thought how it is. Oh. The attraction of the husband for the chaste wife. Husband is not attracted to the wife here. Wife is attracted to the husband. But the sentence does not reveal this meaning clearly. We may say, making a full sentence, the attraction which a chaste wife feels for the husband. The attraction of the child for its mother. Are, same place, huh? Attraction for the mother means on the part of the mother. Now, this should not mislead the readers, please. Attraction of mother towards the child. The attraction of worldly possessions for the worldly man. So all three we have heard from Thakur, and its meaning is the other way around, please. Attraction for the worldly things for man, there is no connection. Attraction for the man towards the worldly things. Attraction for the mother towards child. Attraction for the chaste wife towards husband. These three attractions, tan, pull, khichav in Hindi. In English, pull can be the best word. When a man can blend these three into one and direct it all to God, then he gets the vision of God. So this is the thing which Thakur had told Master Mahasaya in reply to the second day's question. Jayagopal was a man of the world. Was this why the Master gave instructions suited to him? But Master Mahasaya should remember that these were the instructions given to Master Mahasaya also, both being the worldly men. At 8 o'clock that evening, the Master was sitting in his room with Rakhal and M. It was the 21st day of M's stay with Sri Ramakrishna. The Master had forbidden him to indulge in reasoning. A sham reasoning, which does not lead you anywhere. master to Rakhal. It is not good to reason too much. First comes God and then the world. Realize God first, then you will know all about this world. So do not find out by reasoning. To M and Rakhal. If first one is introduced to Jadumalli, then one can know everything about him, the number of his houses, gardens, government securities, and so on. For this reason, the Rishi Narada advised Valmiki to repeat the word Mara. So the story is given in the footnote. Valmiki is the author of the Ramayana. It is said that the sage had lived the life of a highwayman, bandit. Coming in contact with Narada, he became eager to lead a spiritual life. Narada asked him to chant the holy name of Rama as a spiritual discipline, but on account of the sinful tendency of his mind, Valmiki could not utter the holy word. He was then advised to repeat the word Mara, the reverse of Rama. Through yearning and earnestness, the heart of the robber became purified, and it was then possible for him to chant Rama's name. As a result, he attained perfection. So that is the story. For this reason, the Rishi Narada advised Valmiki to repeat the word Mara. Here, Thakur shows the meaning. Ma means God, and Ra, the world. First comes God, and then the world. So, not that it is wrong and it could not pronounce and are the footnote given, but it's a new world. First God, and then the world. Krishna Kumar said that the word Mara is a holy mantra because it was given to Valmiki by the Rishi. Ma means God and Ra the word. So Thakur has got this from Krishna Kishore and we're telling his name he has been telling. Therefore, like Valmiki, one should at first renounce everything and cry to God in solitude with a longing heart. The first thing necessary is the vision of God, then comes reasoning about the scriptures and the word. So some data of experience should be available to reason. Otherwise, reason becomes false, reason becomes dry, reason becomes meaningless. If you have some supersensuous data, then you can build up a reason on that. And so first experience of God is necessary to him. So about the scriptures and the word to him. That is why I have been telling you not to reason anymore. I came from the pine grove to say that to you. Through too much reasoning, your spiritual life will be injured. You will at last become like Hadra. I used to roam at night in the streets all alone and cry to the Divine Mother, "Oh Mother, blight with thy thunderbolt my desire to reason." That means reason is natural to man but not useful. Tell me that you won't reason anymore, telling Master Master. Yeah. Yes, sir, I won't reason anymore. Sadhana, experience, then reason. Shruti Yukti Anubhuti Vihar. Everything can be achieved through bhakti alone. Those who want the knowledge of Brahman will certainly achieve that also by following the trail of bhakti. So this is Thakur's constant theme. Can a man blessed with the grace of God ever lack knowledge? At Kamarpur, I have seen grain dealers measuring paddy. As one heap is measured away, another heap is pushed forward to be measured. The mother supplies the devotees with the heap of knowledge. After attaining God, one looks on a Pandit as mere straw and dust. Padmalochan said to me, "What does it matter if I accompany you in a meeting at the house of a fisherman? With you I can dine even at the house of a pariah." So Padmalochan was a great Pandit, but he understood things deeply and he thought that caste vanish if a man of Brahman is with him. And that is why he told Thakur like that. Mathur Babu wanted him to come and take gift. Mathur doubted whether that Pandit will accept his gift, and so he requested Thakur to call him. And to that query of Thakur, he replied like this: everything can be realized simply through love of God. If one is able to love God, one does not lack anything. I think we can continue. Karthik and Ganesha were seated near Bhagavati. I will take it up tomorrow. Okay. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavivireeditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhoi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.